Good morning, friends. Welcome back to a Saturday in my life in New York City, and today is a Saturday. No, obviously today is a Saturday. Today I'm going to be going out and having lunch at the front, and then I'm going to be spending the rest of my day trying to build a front end for my web app. It'll be like a half fun, half engineering day, so feel free to skip to whatever interests you. Yeah, we're gonna go get ready. One of my best friends gave me this bracelet. Isn't it so cute? I'm gonna try and put it on using tape because it does not hold. Hi, this is Editing Joy. I realized I haven't introduced myself yet. For those of you who are new here, my name is Joy. I like to make videos about adulting, engineering, and just life in my 20s and oversharing on the internet. So if this is something that interests you, please like and subscribe. Okay, back to the video. Hello. No, I don't have that yet.
Ngaca dong.
Ngaca, iya. Tadi juga ngaca di sana sebelum datang.
Oh, ini udah direkam.
Iya. It's an okay looking cheeseburger.
Looks pretty decent.
Okay. It looks our third stop.
There's a line.
Oh, there's a line.
Medium fry.
Just deep fried. I don't know how to eat this. Okay, now I am back home and I will be spending the rest of my day / evening / night trying to program a front-end web app. So one of my goals this year is to launch a tech product of my own, which means that I'm going to be building everything from scratch. I wanted to do that because I feel like although I do work as a software engineer, the tech stack or the tools or skills that I'm using, it's very slim. There are a lot of like cool new technologies out there, and I feel like I want to like sharpen my edge as like an engineer, so I decided to make this one of my 2024 goals. For today, I'm gonna try either JavaScript or next.js and try to make like a front end. The last time I touched front end tools was in 2021, so it's been a while, and honestly all the knowledge has left my body, and I feel like the best way to get into it is just trial by fire. So today, and I'll also be drawing like the rough design to show you what I want it to look like and hopefully be able to implement as much of it as possible. This is my first time doing like a code with me, so I'm a little nervous. Okay, so one of my friends recommended me these two books, Thinking with Type, Universal Principles of UX. I've read it sort of like briefly, but I'm gonna like implement what I can from this book. Okay, so I find it very helpful to have a rough idea of what I'm gonna make. For this specific web app, I'm trying to make a website with 3 pages, and I'm trying to figure out what each different page should be. I want there to be a scroll component for one of the pages, which means that when I scroll, the picture and text changes. So this was like sort of what I had in mind. So as a first-time Next.js user, I found this website to be very helpful. It provides you with the code that you need to build the components that you want for your website, and I definitely took advantage of this. And yeah, I was ready to start writing my code, and yep, the scenes you're watching, they're actually real scenes of me like trying to code and just get my setup ready. I know that programming sounds cool to like a lot of people, but the reality of it is that it's not. You're just like on your desk glued to the screen trying to think about ways to do things, and you feel like your brain just doesn't work most of the time, which is what happened here. And the reality of it is that you're just trying to get something to work, and most of the time it will take about like 10 or 20 tries to get one simple thing to work. Because I wrote spam instead of span, my code could not work, and I was not aware of this until like maybe 15 minutes later. I think for me, one of the hardest things about like writing code, at least at first, was getting used to the fact that in order to get something running, you'd have to like be wrong so many times before that and be okay with it. And yeah, look, after like an hour of tweaking, I got something to show on my screen, although it was still not showing and slightly glitching, so I had to keep working on it. I probably have to go back and fix this because it's not very seamless and there are a lot of small errors that I gotta like work on. But yeah, this was everything I did within I think 2.5 hours. I spent my Saturday night doing this, and weirdly enough it was a great time because I got to play around with colors, typography, and just be creative. Okay, so as I was trying to do this project, I know that this is sort of like a skeleton front end that I will customize later with like various different projects that I'm working on, but right now I realized that I needed like a placeholder name and a placeholder format. So what I came up with on the fly was Instant Folio, which was like just showcasing your Instagram page and being able to turn that into like a portfolio. I know it doesn't like really make sense. I just like needed a placeholder product, and I thought I wanted to get a little creative. I ended up working on this. I want to talk a little bit about like the challenges that I had. Well, for starters, I don't have a design background, and I also haven't touched any front end work for the last 3 years. My work has really been very back end data wrangling heavy. This was definitely challenging, like figuring out where to place things just so that it would look nice. I'm grateful for the books that I have. I learned a little bit about typography, about how to like make things look nicer by just like customizing the size and spacing, and it was something I tried to implement here. The other thing I struggled with was obviously next.js. It is a tech stack that I've never worked on, that I've never used before, and I know that there are various resources, but it's still hard, especially as like a first timer. For this reason, I am super grateful for ChatGPT, because I don't know anyone in my life who's like working on next.js, and I know that there's resources like Stack Overflow, but ChatGPT like allows me to like ask questions, even like stupid little questions that I would otherwise feel kind of bad asking people. It's just great to get like the answer I need in a very like non-judgmental manner. And I know that people say part of engineering is learning how to ask the right questions and figuring out the answer, and maybe ChatGPT like makes you take a shortcut, but I personally feel like it is more effective for me since I am not going to be a front-end engineer, so I don't necessarily need the granular detail, but I just need to kind of like have some baseline knowledge. This is why I love ChatGPT. Another thing I kind of struggled with was like figuring out what a user would want to expect. So for like the second slide, I had just a preview of if ideally I had a product, what the product would look like and what it would do. I think like showing and not telling is really important in life and also in tech. I ended up spending less than 2 hours doing this, and I know it's a really straightforward like front end work. I probably will be tweaking this in the future, but this was like mostly for fun, and it was really nice to be able to just experiment with a different tech stack altogether. This was entirely for fun. Let me know what you think, or if you would like to see more of like code with me, working on projects together, and just kind of like exploring these fun things. Thanks so much for watching. As per usual, I very much appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. I love you, okay? Bye!